What's up, everybody? How are we feeling? It's Wednesday, January 18th, 2003, 2023, 2003. I don't even know what's going on. I'm tired, but we are here live. Let's go. I'm hyped up. I'm ready to roll. Let's get the intro going and do what we gotta do. What's up, everybody? Niners Sickness Podcast in the building. Debbie, Kelvin Newton, Nina Perez, Niner Faithfuls, 49ers Throwback. What's up, everybody? How are we doing? I'm hyped up. You know we got a game coming up this weekend. Not just any game, a freaking playoff game. Last week was the wild card game, and now we're in the division round of the playoffs, and the 49ers are playing the hated rival Dallas Cowboys. This is a huge rivalry, and I feel like this rivalry has been reignited. You know, it kind of went dormant for a few years, for a while actually. In the 90s and the 80s, this was like the matchup, right? The great dynasties. Both of these teams have a lot of championships between them. You know, the Cowboys kind of went through a couple years of not being good. The Niners did too. And, you know, the last time they played before last year, Niners just weren't good. I remember back in, was it 2017, Kyle Shanahan's first year. I remember going to this game. I still wasn't living in the Bay yet, but I flew down and I was like, oh, Niners, Cowboys, I got to be there. The Niners were just a bad team. They got beat 40-17. And, you know, last year, though, both teams made it to the playoffs. And both teams are they're starting to be, you know, really good in the NFC. And both had winning records. And it felt like you could just see, I was like, oh, man, the rivalry's back. And all the old heads were hyped. And now I feel like the players are feeling this vibe of this rivalry. And I cannot wait. You got the fans are going crazy all week, right? The Cowboy fans cheering, we want Niners. But, you know, they really don't. Niner fans were juiced up. And if you look at tickets online throughout the entire playoffs, right now, the 49ers Dallas game is the most expensive ticket out there. Standing room only tickets right now, they're between like $400, $500 for a standing room only ticket. That's before fees. That's crazy. That's an expensive ticket. You know, I was looking at tickets today. They're like $1,000, like for some decent seats. It's an expensive ticket out there, and everybody wants to see this game. And I think the NFL is happy that it's 49ers versus Dallas. I know I am. It's crazy, man. I'm hyped. I want to see uh, what your guys' thoughts. But Israel says he said he hates the Cowboys. Now I think he's talking about Fred Warner. Fred Warner on his interview today in the locker room, he goes, "I grew up as a Cowboys fan, but obviously I hate them now. You know, because he's playing on the Niners against the Cowboys. So everybody's just embracing this, and even Kyle was like, "Yo, when I was younger, when in the 80s and 90s, man, this was the rivalry." And he's right. When I was a kid, back in the day, I remember like just being groomed. My dad was like, "Listen, you can't look at the Cowboys. You can't talk about them. You hate them." And I was like, all right, man, because that was it. It was Niners, Cowboys, 90s, and they were like the two teams. And I remember you drew a line in the sand, and it was like you're either a Cowboys fan or a Niners fan, and that's how it was in the complex I grew up, man. It was like the Bloods versus the Crips. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You had a whole group of people that liked the Niners and a whole group of people that liked the Cowboys. And on game day, you hated each other. You hated each other's mother, and everything in between, man. And we'd go out and play each other and play flag football or whatever, or, you know, and we'd pretend we were the Niners and the other team would pretend they were Cowboys, and we just go crazy on each other. It was heated, man. And that's how it was growing up. And I feel like this rivalry is starting to reignite. I'm hyped up, man. The players are just juiced, and I feel like Dallas is talking a lot. The Niners, I feel like they're smart. They know they can't talk a lot because they've been there before. They're the veterans. They got so close so many times over the last few years with, you know, and then they came short. And they know if they talk trash, it's going to give Dallas a lot of bulletin board material. They got to be very humble. They got to be very, you know, careful with what they say, because no matter what you say, it's going to come back to haunt you. And so today, I don't know if you guys saw the posts or Jerry Jones, Cowboys owner, right? Jerry Jones. Oh man, there's an article by 49ers on NBCS. They tweeted this article out, and it basically, here's the headline. It says Jerry Jones believes the 49ers defense will have a hard time adjusting to Dak Prescott's rushing abilities. He's gassing up Dak. He's saying the 49ers are going to have a hard time against him running, because he's so mobile. Listen, I like Dak. I think he's good. He's inconsistent, but he's already given the 49ers defense bulletin board material as if they needed any more. We already had Skip Bayless going crazy this week, but now you got Jerry Jones sitting here saying that Dak is going to give the 49ers defense a hard time because of their running. To me, that's crazy. I get it. Dak he's not a bad quarterback, but don't give the 49ers any fuel, man. You got Nick Bosa and Armstead ready to cook him up. You remember last year when he scrambled at the end of that game? At the end of that game, he didn't know what he was doing, and he cost him that game, right? When the time expired and the whole blunder. I mean, he did have a rushing touchdown, if you remember that game. But Jerry Jones, man, be careful what you say. Be careful what you wish for. You're giving the 49ers defense ammunition. I love it, man. I'm telling you, the media is giving these Cowboys a lot of praise, and I get it. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they beat them handedly. But you got to remember, so did the Niners. The Niners crushed them. I'm saying, man, I'm telling you, I think the Niners are going to be able to contain Dak. I just don't think that he's fast enough. I don't think he's even as mobile as Stidham. Stidham was mobile. I gotta agree. I gotta sit here and say, wow, I was, pretty surprised at how mobile he was. And I feel like the Niners took him for granted. They overlooked Stidham, and they even admitted it. Right? Nick Bosa says we didn't plan for him as much or whatever. We kind of didn't take him as highly as we should have. You never overlook any opponent, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be ready. Take them on a spy. You got these linebackers at Talanoa Hufanga. You have so many players that know this team. They played him last year. They know what Dak's about. They know it, man. And the thing about Dak, he leads the NFL in interceptions, and he missed a lot of games, man. He missed 5 games, I believe, this year, and he led the NFL in interceptions. This guy's inconsistent. When you get pressure on him, consistent pressure on the guy, he's going to make some mistakes. So we'll see. My boy Fred Warner, I feel, is going to hold it down. I just think the Niners, man, they're just so strong, man. Hyped up, man. X Music said in the NFL preview video, 9 out of 10 analysts picked the Niners to win. If they're smart, I think they're definitely the Niners are the favorite. Obviously, they're their favorite coming in, but you're going to have some people, that are trying to pick the upset. They want to look smart, and that's sports. Yeah, everybody's going to pick their team, and they're going to run with it. And some people they're able to pick the upset, but I just can't see the Niners losing this game in Levi Stadium. It's like the flipped has been script last year. The Dallas Cowboys were the higher seed, and the Niners go into AT&T Stadium, and now Dallas has to come down to Levi Stadium again. Dallas will be a tough opponent. It's going to be a fun opponent. It's the rivalry of a lifetime. We love it. I mean, if you're a Niners fan, you love to sit here and relive this rivalry. We've been posting all the throwbacks all day, all week, and it's cool to see it because there's some great memories. I mean, it's a damn rivalry. You got the catch, right? You have T.O. celebrating on the star. Just so many incredible moments. The 94 NFC Championship, right? Dion, man, and when he was with the Niners, and then when he was with the Cowboys, you got Jerry Rice going all over those guys. Steve Young, man, just so many incredible memories, and now we get to make some more. Last year, Deebo Samuel calling his shot, just so many cool memories, and now we get another one, and now Brock Purdy enters the fray, and I feel a lot of people have been disrespecting Brock Purdy. You got a lot of analysts out there hating on Brock. They're waiting for Brock to, mess up and make a mistake. I feel like everybody's waiting because he's a rookie. He's doing things that haven't been done as a rookie quarterback, right? He's Mr. Irrelevant, and people are expecting him to fail. They're praying for his downfall. And it's kind of crazy to me. I get it. He's young and inexperienced, but you watch him every week. It's like, how does he keep doing this? He looks like a 10-year vet. I would not doubt the man because you're going to keep on giving this kid fuel, and he's thriving off of it. And he's got a head coach that is in his bag right now. Kyle Shanahan, he looked so focused, and so dialed in on his press conference today. I was like, damn, Shanny, he looked young. He looked this. Shanahan looks like the happiest he's been in a long time. I was watching him today. I was like, Shanahan looks, no, he doesn't have the bags under his eyes. He looks happy. He doesn't look stressed out. I was like, it's like he's anti-aging. It's like Benjamin Button out there, bro. You know, when Kyle's been stressed over these last few years, I think he's happy because Brock Purdy's out there doing the damn thing. He's not stressed out. I love what I see. He trusts Brock, man. You could tell Kyle loves Brock Purdy, and it's making his life so much easier. It's crazy to me. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but watch Kyle Shanahan's press conference from today. I was like, he just looks so much more refreshed. He looks exuberant out there. I've never seen him look this calm and focused and relaxed in a big game interview like or press conference like this. I was like, Kyle, you looking nice today. You looking good today, baby boy. He looks good. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. Maybe I'm overlooking it, but if you haven't watched Kyle's press conference, go watch it. He looks very relaxed. I don't know. Oh, Israel Mikey says Purdy is going to put Skip on suicide watch. I tell you, man. Again, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get overzealous. But if Purdy comes out and he goes crazy, he goes brazy, and he outperforms Dak, Skip Bayless just needs to delete his Twitter. He needs to call into work. Because he's going to look silly. And Brock Purdy has nothing to lose. He's got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Last pick in the draft, nobody expected him to be here, right? Nobody expected him to be here. Dak's getting paid a lot of money, a lot of money. I would hope that he comes to play big time in this game. Dak Prescott's contract is crazy to me. It's a big contract. It's one of the top quarterback contracts in the league, right? And if he can't come out and outperform the number 7th pick who's getting $500K, you better get he's going to get flamed up. That's it. Going to get flamed up. 49er Jeff says Jimmy was stressing him out, talking about Kyle. You could, I mean, every week the boy looks stressed. You saw him yelling on the sideline, just looking like he was in shambles, man. And now he just looks so stress-free. I love it. I love seeing Kyle happy. And maybe it's the growth of Kyle, but I really noticed this year that Kyle's been happy. He's smiling. He looks like he's just enjoying himself out there. 11 wins will do that to you because I've been stress-free lately, you know. I mean, there's been a few games where I'm like, oh, my God. But overall, 11 games, man, you're on a high. And I feel like the Niners are riding this high. And you could tell Kyle is just so relaxed. I love it, man. Them turnovers had him stressing. His stomach. Hey, I would be stressed out, too. Every game, you're stressing. Can we get the game? We're losing turnovers. Are we going to win? You can't make touchdowns. Field goals are coming. It's stressful. But now they are relaxing. They're scoring 35 points a game. They don't have to kick field goals a lot, and they're not making mistakes. They're barely turning the ball over, and that's a beautiful thing. I mean, hopefully it can continue this weekend, right? I don't want to jinx them, but hopefully that trend continues into the divisional round. But we'll see. But Brock Purdy has limited his mistakes. He doesn't really make many, and if he does, he bounces right back. He's got the memory of a goldfish, like we like to say all the time, but I know I say that, but it's true. Brock has been able to just take a mistake. Okay, I gotta look past and just come back and do the damn thing. And it's crazy. He's 23 years old? 23 years old, and he's in his first year as a quarterback. He's a rookie. He's played 6 games. It's crazy to me. I love it. I love the confidence of Purdy. And now I know you've heard a lot of people talk about how confident Brock is. It's true. Like people that say it, it's very true. He's just so calm out there. The game just comes to him. And he's on the sideline telling Debo, football's fun with you. He's got Jimmy Ward hyped up because he's high-stepping. Like, his kid's a leader, a natural-born leader. Just kids on the sideline hyping everybody up. You got Armstead so happy that he says, if we win this whole thing, it's going to be Brock Purdy. Fred Warner said that, too. I know they're teammates, and they're going to be hyping them up, and they're going to say positive things. But those are 2 guys that have been captains of this team, Fred Warner and Armstead, and they're going, hey, if we're going to win this whole thing, it's going to be because of Brock Purdy. That's huge, man. That is huge. And if you watched the mic'd up with Jimmy Ward, he said it too. He goes, Brock Purdy's a baller. Like him and Tashawn Gibson are on the sidelines and like, Purdy's a baller, man. These guys see it. They see it, and they're like, wow, this guy is he's got it. He's got something that a lot of people don't. He just has it. I don't know. Obviously, it's still early. things can change. Maybe it all takes a turn for the worst. Hope it doesn't. But he really has that it factor. He's out there calm and collected. And going back to the whole Debo, the comment where he says football is fun with you, Brock Purdy and Debo, they haven't even played much because of the injury, right? Brock was coming in. He was the new quarterback. And Debo, he got hurt, so he missed some time. They really haven't had chemistry. And they instant connection last week against Seattle. And they're going to build off that. And that is dangerous. Like you could tell, Purdy's like, I like this Debo guy. I get him the ball. 5 yards, he takes it 89 yards or whatever the case is. This guy's a baller. I'm going to keep giving him the ball. And Debo likes it because he's going to be like, hey, just give me the ball. Look what I can do. Look what I can do. And it's a beautiful connect. When you start building that trust, it goes. It's like Kittle, right? Brock Purdy knows he can trust Kittle. He knows it. We've seen it. Red zone comes. I'm fucking going to look for George Kittle. Brock Purdy in his mind probably. Where's Kittle? Okay, boom. Now he's got this connection with Debo. It's like, yo, this guy, I gave him the ball last week, and he had 100 and some odd yards. Crazy. I need to give him the ball. He's already built connection with CMC. We all know that. He's the bread and butter of this team. He's the secret sauce. I'm going to give the ball to CMC. Boom, we know what he's going to do. Now he's building that relationship with Debo, and he's got it with Kittle. You got your 3 stars. Purdy believes in them all, and he's building chemistry. And people are going to forget about Brandon Ayuk, who owes them a touchdown, by the way. And it's Purdy knows how to use the weapons. He knows how to spread the ball. And Kyle Shanahan is calling a phenomenal game. He's been aggressive. I said this earlier this week, and I can't keep hammering this point down. They were up 38-17, and they were still throwing for touchdowns in the red zone. I know Ayuk didn't catch that, but that just tells me that Kyle Shanahan has evolved as a coach, and as a playmaker, as a play caller, as everything. He's learned, man, because you know how many people slam Kyle Shanahan? He's not aggressive. He's not aggressive. He gets too passive. He needs to not take his foot off the gas. I've said that. And guess what he says? He said, all right, bet. Fucking 38-17. He's still going for touchdowns. Kyle Shanahan's in his bag, man. I love it. I love it. Nate Santos says, we're about to bottle up Pollard. Pollard's good. He's definitely better than Zeke, in my opinion, at this point of their careers. Zeke's a little old, a little zesty too, Mr. Crop Top. That's another story for another day. But yeah, you gotta bottle up the run. You gotta stop Pollard, and the 49ers are so good against. They're the number 1 defense. They gotta stop the run, and you gotta get pressure on Dak, 100%. Pollard's good, but I feel like the Niners are able to. I think they're going to be able to stop him. I think they're going to be able to stop Pollard. I don't think Zeke's going to be able to do much. In 2017, Zeke was like their big guy. It's 5 years later, 6 years later, he's still on the team. He's lost a lot of steps. So Pollard's definitely got to be the guy you got to really focus in on. Israel says, it would be nice if the whole team stood on the Star. Well, we're not playing in Dallas. We don't have to stand on the Star. It's Levi Stadium. If we played in Dallas, yeah. But, the Niners, they didn't want to go crazy. They didn't want to over-celebrate because it's a wild card game last year when they played Dallas. They didn't want to do any of that extra celebrate on the Star stuff because they knew job was far from over. They still had a lot of playoffs. You can't look silly on wild card weekend. You can't look silly on divisional. You can't really celebrate until you get to the damn Super Bowl and win the damn thing. Even in the Super Bowl, you can't celebrate early. The Niners they were on suicide watch after they celebrated early. But hey, it's another story for another day. My man 49ers throwbacks his T.O. vibes. Yes, sir, T.O. vibes. That was one of the craziest moments when I remember that. I remember sitting there watching that game. T.O. he's running out. What is this guy doing? He's running. He goes and celebrates on the Star. I was like, oh, that's crazy. The second time, those guys were so pissed. George Teague leveled him. I mean, that was one of the most iconic moments ever. That rivalry was heated. When he did that on the Star, I was like, oh, T.O., man. You gotta love it, man. Israel says, I bet you Purdy's paying attention to what people are saying. I think the whole team is. That's why I post that stuff. These players listen to social media. They're locked in on what social media is. That's the new generation. They know what's going on. They know what's being said. They see it. And the Niners are very smart because they're like, okay, they take the notes. The players keep the receipts. Look at Diamador Lenore last week. Perfect example. He had all the posts that people were trashing him liked. He saved them. He saved them. And what did he do this week? He had a great game. He was one of the big, players on defense, made a big play. And then what he says, they wrote me off, but I ain't right back. Like that was a bar, right? And he said it against the Seahawks, Geno's bar, and he took it and he used it. Like that's just these players use the stuff for motivation, but they're not going to sit here and talk all week. They're going to store it internally. They're going to let the game do the talking for them, and then they're going to laugh at you afterward. That's the best way to do it. Like Debo, right? The guy FaceTimes him. Oh, watch out for Diggs, and he's facing. We're coming. We're coming. Debo just looks so unbothered. He was like, "Are you done? You done yet? You done?" Like these guys, the Niners are smart. They know everybody's gonna be yapping. They're gonna be talking because if the Niners talk, they're gonna look silly if they lose. And you know what I mean? They know that they have a really good chance of winning this weekend. And after it's all said and done, after this weekend, and you've been talking, oh, they're gonna let out all their emotions and they're gonna give it to you. I can't wait. Like last year, right after the game, Nick Bosa, what did he posted on his Instagram? America's real 49ers are America's real team. I was like, don't piss off the bear. Don't piss off the bear like that. Gamer says last year the weak link on the Niners offense was a good mobile QB, and Brock is him. Brock's mobility is so special. It's underrated. You look at the kid and you're like, there's no way he can do what he does. And he looks like Mahomes out there. He looks like Josh Allen sometimes, man. You know the way he is. He's running and gunning and moving and zooming, and he's got that mobility, and it's nice like that. I just see it so many times. He's able to escape the pressure. If someone comes in, you're not afraid that you're going to get the sack. He knows he can escape the pressure and get rid of the ball, and he's going to find those reads. He's able to escape, see the reads, see the field. The kid is smart, man. Yeah, it's fun to see. He's really unlocked this offense. And then you got CMC and Debo and all these weapons. He knows how to utilize them correctly. And, man, he definitely has just improved this offense in so many ways. So Debbie says, am I going to the game? I don't know. I want to, but tickets are a little pricey this week for the game. We'll see. If anybody wants to give me a ticket, I'll take one. But, yeah, we'll see. I'm not decided yet. Last week was a last-minute decision. It's probably going to be a last-minute decision this week. But we'll see. PJ says, proud of Brock. He restored my faith. A lot of people were bummed out this season. Trey goes down. Jimmy comes back, and he was in, and crazy that they kept him. And we know the whole story, right? Trey was there. They didn't get rid of Jimmy. Jimmy comes back, and then Jimmy goes down. I remember everybody felt deflated. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's over. It's over. We're done. There goes the win streak." And I remember I was in Miami for that game, and I was watching, and I was like, "Who is this kid? What is going on?" This guy was dealing, and I was like, "Okay, maybe they don't have film on him." It was just the first game, and he got lucky. I was like, well, this kid looked good. But I remember him in training camp, and he looked good. And, they kept him over Sudfeld, and I was like, maybe there's a reason. They really like this kid, and you don't want to get rid of him because teams might take him. They knew this kid has something. And when he came in that Miami game, I was like, okay, Brock, okay. And we win, and then we kept winning. And then every week, he's gotten better. And now I'm just like, he's it. It's crazy because he really has restored faith in a lot of it. Because I know there was a lot of people. I remember that night. I remember going live, and people were like, "Oh, Jimmy's done. We're done. Season's over." Oh my God. Not everybody, but a lot of people, the majority of people were just like, the Niners are cooked. We're done. How are we going to cut? Like, I just remember the vibe and everybody's like emotions, and everybody was like, we're cooked. And look at what happened now. I feel like everybody is just so happy. They're so hyped. Everybody believes, and he's got the fan base in the palm of his hands. He's believing. Everybody's believing in him, and rightfully so. And it's amazing. This run has been magical. If the 49ers finish this run and the Niners win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy as starter, this kid's getting the key to the city, and they're never going to let him relinquish it. Like this kid is becoming a legend before our eyes. It's unbelievable how the story is unfolding. So, bear down. Hey, Boogie says bear down. Oh yeah, we got to have him on the live this week. He was one of those. I remember he tweeted when Jimmy. It's the tweet is there. It was a freezing cold take. It's my boy Bear Down. Mikey. It says Jimmy Garoppolo is being carted to the locker room. He quote tweets it, and he goes, "The 49ers season is done." Flash forward to today. They're the hottest team in the NFL. Their offense has improved since then, and they're in the NFC divisional playoff game. That's a cold take, Mikey. That was dope. Oh, man. Case closed. How old was I when I became a Niner fan? Been a Niner fan my whole life. I was raised as one. As a young boy, my dad made sure that I was a Niner fan. He was a Niner fan when we were growing up. He says, if you're not a Niner fan, you can get the hell out of my house, basically. So since I was a young buck, I've been a Niner fan. So as early as I could remember, I just remember. I mean, I had like Niner clothes as a kid. I'd have like a shirt, Niner shirt, hat. That's what my mom and dad would buy me. They bought me Niner clothes, mainly my dad, and that's what it was. It was Niners. And I remember growing up in those 90s, it was Niners and Cowboys, man. And I had a lot of friends that were Niner fans, had a lot of friends that were Cowboys fans. And it was a heated rivalry. It was fun times, though. Hey, Boogie says, I'll be the first to admit I was confused and didn't like why we cut Sudfeld, kept Purdy, but God, I was so wrong. Thankful for BCB. A lot of people were confused. I remember I was pretty shook. I was like, they got this guy. They gave him like $2 million guaranteed for a backup quarterback. That was like, yeah, that's pretty decent money for a backup quarterback. $2 million guaranteed. But I remember watching training camp, and I remember I was live with Larry Krueger. You guys know Larry Krueger, right? Krugs, dope guy. Niner analyst, all that good stuff. Shout out to my boy. He's worked on KNBR 957 The Game. And we were live one time after training camp. We did it a few times. We did a few episodes together on Instagram and whatnot. I think I was live on YouTube with him one time. But he said, too, me and him, specifically him, he was like the guy that was really on the Brock Purdy like bandwagon before it even left the train, before it even had tires on the train. He was like, "Yo, Raj, have you seen Brock Purdy?" I said, "Yeah, he looked good today. He looked good." He was like, "No, have you seen Brock Purdy?" He was so enamored. He kept telling me, he goes, "This guy's gonna beat out Sudfeld. This guy's gonna beat out Sudfeld." And I just would watch in training camp, and I was like, maybe he's right. And I just remember he was like every day he would text me. He's like, he's gonna beat out Sudfeld. I could feel it. This guy looks so good. He looks poised. I just remember it. And when they cut Sudfeld, I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. You were right, Crew. He knew it, man. He could see it. He could see the talent. And I remember we talked a lot before the rosters were set. And I remember that was his pick. He goes, I think Brock Purdy's gonna be your QB3. I remember that. And that stood out to me because when the rosters were made and they cut Sudfeld, I was like, damn, Kruger was right. So he was like really high on the guy. And if you go back and you really watch it, you could see it. This young man was poised. He didn't care that he was the low man on the totem pole. He had nothing to lose. And he just came into training camp and he was slinging it, man. And he looked good. And it's not that Sudfeld looked bad, but Purdy looked good enough that they were like, okay, we can cut Sudfeld because we feel confident in Purdy if he had to play. And nobody thinks that your third string quarterback's going to play. But here we are. It's fucking crazy. It is crazy, man. $2 million, though, for a backup. They guaranteed him. It's pretty crazy to me that they cut him. And they got the last laugh. They knew what they were doing. So you can't question this front office and this coaching stuff. They know what they're doing. People like to question them a lot. They've made mistakes, of course. Nobody's perfect. But they've been really on their P's and Q's over the last couple months. The last couple of years, sorry. Last couple of years, they've been hitting hard on free agency, on the draft. It's been nice, man. Nia says, do you think the tickets will go down the day of the game? Maybe a little. I mean, that's typically the rule of thumb. If tickets haven't been sold the day of, people are in a bind and they'll just release them for a little cheaper. But I don't expect them to go down that cheap. This is a hot ticket. I think if you're going to go, you might want to buy your tickets now. That's crazy. These tickets they're a pretty penny. I don't think they're going to go down much if they do, because the fact of the matter is it's still the hottest game of the weekend. So maybe a little. But I don't expect them to go down much. That's a good question. Yeah, tickets are $500 lowest right now, George. And those are standing room only. Standing room only tickets, $500. You don't even get a seat for that shit. This is a good question by PJ. How do you picture D'Amico's future? I still think he'll get a head coaching job somewhere. I mean, the options are kind of they're not great, but I mean, most teams that need a new head coach, they're crappy jobs. That's why they need a new head coach to fix them up. So I still think he'll take a head coaching job. I think he's really focused. He's had a lot of interviews starting tomorrow. Like he is going to be I can't remember. I think Schefter tweeted this the other day. Let me see what his schedule. It's like crazy his schedule. He's got a lot of interviews this week. Let me see. He tweeted this out yesterday, I want to say. Let me see. Let's see. Maybe it was 2 days ago. Let me see. I want to find this tweet real quick because he did talk about D'Amico Ryan's. It's like a crazy schedule. 1 second. Damn it. Where the hell is it? I want to get the exact specifics on it. So give me a second. And we'll talk about D'Amico specifically. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is about D'Amico right now. So the Colts submitted a request to interview D'Amico Ryans. This was on what's today? Wednesday. This was Monday. So the Colts are requesting to interview. So this is what Schefter says. He says Ryan's schedule is jammed. He will start his head coaching interviews Thursday, so tomorrow. With the Broncos, he's going to interview, and then he's expected to meet with the Colts, the Texans, the Cardinals, all before Sunday's game. So starting tomorrow, D'Amico has an interview with the Broncos, and then later this week, he's got interview with the Colts, the Texans, and the Cardinals. All of those interviews before Sunday. That's crazy to me. I feel that's going to be a busy, busy day. So hopefully he's got everything scheduled up and he can get those interviews done because he's got a lot of game planning to do. It's going to be stressful for the guy. I do think he'll take a head coaching job when it's all said and done. I think he's focused to win a Super Bowl. And if he does win a Super Bowl, it's going to help his resume. It's just going to show. I think he's going to tell these teams, listen, just wait. When I win the Super Bowl, I'll tell you how much I want, kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to help his case if the 49ers win a Super Bowl with his defense. But that is a busy week, man. That's crazy. So 4 interviews in the next couple of days, and then the NFC divisional round game. That's a lot of work. But I think he'll hopefully be focused enough to help this defense do what it's got to do. Second half adjustments are critical. But now if D'Amico goes, right? Who's going to be the DC, right? Who's going to be the DC? Now, a name that keeps being thrown out there is Vic Fangio today. Rappaport, he did mention that briefly today. Vic Fangio did go and interview with the Falcons for their DC position. So he's out there. Their teams are looking for him. But Rapp said if he doesn't take any of these early jobs that people are looking for him right now, that he might wait and see what the 49ers are going to do with D'Amico, or what D'Amico does with after the 49ers season is done. So here's what could happen. D'Amico could become a head coach somewhere, and then if Vic Fangio is going to wait, and then just say, okay, that's the job I want, then he'll become the DC. He does have interviews right now lined up, right, with some other teams. But if he doesn't like them, he's going to say, I'm going to wait till see what the 49ers do. Let me call you back. And then let's say the 49ers keep D'Amico. Vic Fangio could say, hey, guess what? Something opened up in my schedule. Let me be your DC. So I feel like that's going to be the move right now. My odds are on D'Amico goes to a team and the 49ers call D'Amico or Vic Fangio immediately. If he hasn't taken a job, yo, Vic, Curry, get your ass down here. Sign on the dotted line. How much do you want? Okay, whatever. That's cool. That's what I think they're going to call him like ASAP. ASAP if he's still available. Because it's just an easier. That's the guy. That's the guy. The team wants D'Amico for sure, 100%. I would too. They love him. They trust D'Amico. He's an amazing person, great coach. But it's a big opportunity for him. He might get the bag. I wouldn't blame him for it. So. Oscar says the whole league is going to have Niner coaches by 2030. Yeah, can you imagine by 2030, everybody's head coach is going to be former 49er coach. They're all going to be. That's what it seems like, right? They love our coaches. Oh, it's funny, man. A Boogie says, will the loss of Ron Carthon be a huge loss, even though we got draft capital from it? I mean, in the sense of executives, the 49ers always find really good people, but he was a great executive. He's been with this team for a long time. I think since 2017, he wasn't always in the role he was, but, he got elevated to his position. But all the executives of this team are great, and that's what you got to realize. It's not just John Lynch. It's not just Adam Peters. It's not just Kyle Shannon. It's a collection of everybody, and he's been with this team for 2017. So he's helped, really get good players in. He's helped get players develop. He's been part of that whole situation. So yeah, it will take it will hurt him a little bit in the sense of they're losing a really good guy, and he's gonna be a guy that the Titans can really help build a team. Look at the 49ers. They've built a phenomenal team, right? Through the draft and free agency and everything in between. And that's part of all the executives. He was on a great team, great led team, and he's bringing a good culture with him to the Tennessee Titans. They were terrible. The fact they let AJ Brown go just shows you how bad their management was. So this is a good move for Rand. But I feel like the 49ers, they know they got to replace him with someone strong. There's a lot of guys in the organization that they can promote. So with that being said, is they'll find someone that they really trust and they know can be elevated to his position. So it's a win for whoever they put in that position. And I think they'll do a great job because the 49ers know how to, select coaches and players and executives. Just look at it. Everybody wants a piece of the Niners. So in a sense, yeah, it might hurt a little bit because that transition period, change always takes a few months, years to kind of, get back to 100%. But I think the 49ers will be okay and they'll be in good hands because they'll find someone really good to replace him. And the 49ers get more draft picks. So it's really good. It's a win for Rand because he gets a good opportunity. He gets to strengthen his career and move up the chain, right? The pecking order in the position of football. So it's good for him. And it just shows the 49ers are really good at, being an equal opportunity employer. They have the most minority coaches that have been hired everywhere. They got 8 compensatory picks from the minority coaches. So it's great for everybody involved. And again, the draft picks speak for themselves. They're going to have 11 draft picks this year, at least. If D'Amico goes, they're going to get more. So it's great. They could have a potential, I think, like 15 draft picks this year. Will they use them all? No, they'll probably trade them. But it's good to know that we got a lot of draft picks coming. And the 49ers have a lot of late round draft picks. That's where they shine. So, hey, Peter Parker, what do you think about Trey being traded to the Titans? So I want to say this. First of all, I hate all the Trey rumors. It's crazy, man. People are really talking about Trey Lance being traded, this and that. The offseason hasn't even started. It's still the playoffs. We don't know what the future is going to hold. I feel bad for Trey because everybody's already writing him off. They're already saying they're going to trade him. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. And then the other thing is, I hated that rumor because I don't know who posted it on Twitter, but they posted whatever Trey Lance posted on his story yesterday. All right, it's a picture of Rand Carthon. It's literally a picture of Rand Carthon, and he's doing this. He's basically saying, good luck, congratulations, well-deserved, whatever you want to say. He's saying congratulations to the executive that just got hired to the GM. And now everybody's speculating, oh, Trey Lance is going to go to the Titans because he posted a picture of Rand Carthon. How stupid do you have to be? That's how people get clickbait. That's what people use as clout. I've been in social media for many years. It's a clickbait damn post. People get engagement. Makes me sick. I feel bad. Do I think he's going to go to the Titans? No. It's clout, but who knows what's going to happen. I want to worry about Trey Lance and this quarterback situation after the season. We still got a lot to go. And I feel like that's my vibe right now is I really don't care about the offseason right now because we got the postseason still that we got to focus on. But everybody's going to sit here in the media and they're going to gas these trade rumors up. And just wait for another month or two. It's going to be an exhausting offseason, man. I don't think he'll go to the Titans. Yeah, 49er Ben, you texted me today. You were like, Trey Lance to the Titans? I was like, no, bro. Clickbait. Y'all fall for it all the time. Look at this. Exactly. The Niners repost the Niners content all the time. They do it all. Trey Lance reposts everything on his story. Trey Lance, what if he posted something? Man, it's silly, man. Sometimes social media just has ruined sports. It really has. It's just because one time, as soon as someone posts something, oh my God, he's look at what he put. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But it's what people love. They love the rumors. They love the smoke. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I post this kind of stuff too. It's what we do. Social media. We try to read between the tea leaves. But if you do it enough, that you can figure out what might actually mean something, what could be cryptic enough to mean something, and then there's times where it's just like, it's a nothing burger. But sometimes players do post cryptic stuff, and you got to be able to read between the tea leaves. But man, it's exhausting, and that whole yesterday the Trey Lance thing, I was just like, come on, dude, are you really? I wanted to say something on the tweet. I was gonna comment something, but I was like, I'm not even gonna pay this guy attention. I'm not. Who was it? Who was it that? Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find the tweet. It was like, come on, dude. It was so bad. It was like they were reaching for straws so bad. So bad. I can't find it. I don't remember who did it. Let's see. Here it is. ML Football. IG story from 49ers QB Trey Lance right after ran Carthon to the Titans. News broke, and with the eyes emoji, like people are really gassing this up. They're like, oh no, this is the post. Has Trey Lance on the top, and oh my God, people find that they see that picture and they think, okay, Trey Lance is going to Titans. That's their news. That's their source. It's killing me. Killing me. It's funny though. We'll see. I mean, there's gonna be rumors this offseason. It's gonna be. Just trust me. You're gonna hire a lot of people per a source. The 49ers are looking to trade Trey Lance. Per a source, the 49ers might get Tom Brady. Per a source, Aaron Rodgers. Just get ready for it. In a month or two, you're gonna hear all these rumors. But right now, the focus is on Dallas, the Cowboys. Brock Purdy is our quarterback, and the 49ers have a chance to get one game closer to the Super Bowl. That's where my mind is. That's where the players' minds are. Nothing else matters. And I can't wait. It's a good comment. Seems like Jimmy and Trey being out cleared some animosity for the team. Too much drama. I feel like you're right. I feel like everybody's just so focused. There's no like QB controversy. There's no like, I don't know. When Trey and Jimmy were there, there's always like some drama. The media is like, "Oh, what do you think about Trey? What do you think about Jimmy?" And everybody was like, always instigating. In the media, they were like, "Oh, do you like Jimmy? Do you like Trey? What are your thoughts on Trey as a start?" And it's like they wanted to get a juicy answer. Of course, they're not going to give you a juicy answer, but they were looking for that drama. Always drama. But you're right. They're both out of the picture right now, and it's Brock Purdy. There's nobody else right now. Josh Johnson, but we know he's not going to be a starter. So it's just nice to be able to focus on the games, football. Brock Purdy's our guy, and nothing else matters. So, a boogie. Social media is always about being first, never about being right. Yeah, very much true to an extent. You want to be the guy that breaks the news. You want to be the guy that gets the retweets and the likes. And usually when people post it first, they're gonna give you the credit and all that. Adam Schefter and Rappaport, they have a battle on who's first, right? And in NBA, you got Shams and Woj. They go, who's gonna break the story first? That's it. Everybody wants to worry about being first, but you got to have the ability to be accurate. Sometimes the news isn't right. So I agree with that. Is Jason Peters ruled out for the Cowgirls? I saw on Twitter he didn't practice. He didn't practice, but he's not been ruled out yet. So we still got 2 more days until they finalize, game day decisions. Right on Friday, it's the last practice of the week, and then they designate a player if they're going to play, questionable, doubtful, whatever the case. Sometimes if they're really injured, they'll just tell you before the week starts they're listed as out. Like Shanahan does that a lot. Like sometimes it's Wednesday and he knows Armstead's not going to play. He'll say Armstead's not playing, right? A couple weeks ago, this was the case when Armstead was hurt. But for the most part, teams try to go through the week and see as much as possible if a guy can come back. Maybe he'll be questionable. And it's the playoffs. I don't think they want to throw all their decks out, all their cards on the table just yet. So we'll see. I think Friday we'll know if people are ruled out or not. So, Rich Martinez says, I'm ready for playoff Purdy. Playoff Purdy was nice the other night. He was nice with it, baby. And he's only going to get nicer. He's a young buck learning. And I'm sure they're going to try to bring the pressure on Purdy, but be careful. When you rush Purdy, Glock Purdy's going to be able to run his way all the way around. It's nice, man. A Boogie says, other than the Niner game, what's another game you're looking forward to? Bengals Bills, man. That's gonna be a phenomenal game. Those two teams didn't get to finish their game a couple weeks ago. I think they're two of the better teams in the league. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. That's gonna be fun, man. I think that's probably my second game I'm really looking forward to this weekend. It's gonna be a good game. So we'll see. AKA Ian Rappaport. Giants Eagle game on Saturday, says Gamer. It's gonna be a fun one too. Do you guys think the Giants can pull the upset off? What do you guys think? I mean, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be physical. I think they'll give them a shot. It's a division opponent. This is their third game they've played them. They played them tough when they didn't play their starters. I don't know. I think the biggest upset could be the Giants over the Eagles. I think it's possible. I don't think the Jaguars will beat Kansas City just because they don't have the experience. It'll be a great learning experience for Trevor Lawrence. He'll fall short. Patrick Mahomes has a lot of rest right now. Him and Andy Reid are probably in the lab right now cooking it up, and they're getting ready to run another ring around the posy type. Like, so disrespectful. They're going to run. Okay, they did ring around the rosy against the Raiders. I think they're going to do duck, duck, goose against the Jaguars. Something crazy like that. I have a feeling the Jaguars are going to lose. I mean, that's not like, oh my God, hot take. But it's going to be a high score. I think the Chiefs are going to be dropping some points. I think Trevor Lawrence will be able to hold tight with them for a while, but Chiefs are just too good. And then on an extra long week of practice, I think Chiefs will win. I think the Giants may be able to pull the upset off. I don't know. It's going to be close. And I think the Bills will beat the Bengals. But you can't count out Joe Burrow, but his O-line is ravaged right now. The O-line is banged up, and I think that's the key. And it's the home cooking for the Bills. Damar Hamlin in the building. Oh, my God. I feel like the Bills are just on a collision course to go against the Chiefs. I feel like the NFL really can't wait to see Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen again. And can Josh Allen finally beat Patrick Mahomes? Last time he failed in overtime. Now they changed the rules in overtime. Type B. So we'll see. And then see what happens in the NFC. Alberto, what's good, baby? How we doing? We're doing good. Bailey says I think it's either the Giants upset or the Bengals. I mean, those are the two most likely upsets of the weekend. I feel like the biggest chance to be an upset this weekend is the Giants. Jalen Hurts shoulder, that's a big question. Although he's been listed as full go, whatever, he's off the. I know he's been cleared and all that stuff. I just can see his shoulder being a problem. I don't know. We'll see. Could be wrong. Maybe AJ Brown lights him up. So we will see. AG says, is Jimmy going to be on the sidelines on Sunday? I don't know. We'll find out. We shall see what happens. I'm excited. I can't wait. Let's see. Dallas injury report. Let's take a look before I hang it up for the day. I'm gonna have Guru tomorrow from 957 to game. He was supposed to come on today, but there were some technical difficulties with his laptop. So tomorrow I'm anticipating to have Guru from 957 of the game on the live. So look forward to that. Let me see what Dallas Cowboys practice. Let's see what we got. They did sign a new kicker, right? We saw that. Tristan Vizcaino, former Patriot, to the practice squad. It's good to see. Good to see. Yeah, offensive tackle Jason Peters. He did not practice today. We talked about that. He has a hip injury. So that is the big significant news out of Dallas. They signed a new kicker to the practice squad. Their starting tackle, Jason Peters, is out of practice with the hip injury. And that's about it. We'll see. So those are the two most important news updates for the Dallas Cowboys right now. So Peters and the new kicker, we'll see what happens. So. All right. Y'all have a good rest of your night. I'll probably be live on Instagram a little later. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Guru hop on from 957 The Game. We'll chop it up, see how it is, see what we got. We'll talk about, of course, the Dallas game. I'll ask him about what he thinks looking into the weekend. Talk about CMC, chop it up. We'll see how he thinks about Brock Purdy. And, what does he think about the Dallas Cowboys and all the juicy rumors of the day. We'll recap it for you. So look forward to that. I'll see you guys a little later. Appreciate you guys, and have a good rest of your night. I love you guys. Thanks for the support. Bang, bang. Not a gang.